Coming out of university, actually my first choice was to become a social worker. That was my first love in terms of a job and a vocation calling. At about in my late 20s, I started to do some work in schools and thought more about a teaching career and sort of upgraded my Bachelor of Arts degree and eventually went back to BDP in my late 20s and became a teacher. So I heard about an opening here and was interviewed by the former principal around Easter time and was offered the grade 7 position here. For such a big decision, I've never regretted it once, and I was very happy that I made that move to IC Delta, and here I am 24 years later. God has a plan. God called me. I think overall just being able to pray with the kids, to celebrate their successes, to help them in whatever way I can, and it might just be to find them a Band-Aid. It might just be to help them work their way through a problem of the day. It might have nothing to do with teaching them math or spelling. And to work with so many wonderful people here, the educational assistants, the office staff, the other teachers. But I think the best part of my day is that no 2 days are alike. No matter how rough a day might have been, how many problems there were, it's a blank slate, a brand new day. It really is an adventure. But I think just the learning from the kids, praying with them, celebrating our faith, I can't get any better than that. I'm hoping that the kids think of me as someone who practiced what he preached, who lived the life that he talked about. I'm hoping they remember me as someone just with a kind heart who helped in any way that he could. Help them to be the best people they could be, and to help them get ready to make an impact on the world. My name is Mark Stocks, and this is my IC Delta story.
My name's Julie O'Shea Vansball, and I'm from a small town in Ontario. I grew up on a farm. And our parish was a rural community parish, and my grandparents and my aunts and uncles went to that parish as well. And I got a teaching job in Vancouver in 1992, so I moved to St. Augustine's Parish. And while I was there, one of my colleagues introduced me to a man from IC Delta, who later became my husband. So my introduction to IC Delta School came through the church. My father-in-law, being a structural engineer, when he built an addition on our house, we actually live in the house that my husband grew up in. He took lumber and bricks from the original church, and the addition to my house, the framing is actually the wood from the original church. So I feel like God called to me by, first of all, bringing me, I'd never heard of Delta. I was from a small town in Ontario, never heard of Delta. And then through all the people that kind of came my way, including my in-laws and also Sister Donna, I feel that all along it was part of God's plan that I be part of this school. I very rarely would say I'm going to work. I always say I'm going to school. So I think the minute I start to say I'm going to work, then that means something has changed inside me, but my heart is definitely, this is a place I want to be. I love grade 7. I love the age. I love working with them as they grow in their faith, getting ready for confirmation, and also getting ready for high school, trying to really encourage that independence and just owning their own emotions, owning their own time management skills, and their organization of their actual supplies as well. And I just love being part of that journey. And it's so nice. I started, my first year here, I started a little alumni wall. I don't know if it's up on the wall behind there, where I put all the class pictures from the year, the kids that were in this room during those years. And it's so awesome to see when they come back. I've noticed their eyes dart up there to see, oh yeah, there we are. They know that this is still their home. I hope they always know that they're never alone, that they always have God to lean on. But I want them all to know that, we're created for a purpose and that we have a God who loves us. And I think if they can take that with them throughout their life, then I've done one thing right. My name is Julie O'Shea Vansball. I'm a grade 7 teacher, and this is my IC Delta.
Well, it started when I was 6 years old. My parents brought my family here to go to school, so I started in Sister Donna's Pastoral. Back then, there was no kindergarten at IC, it was just grade 1. And so I started grade 1 and continued all the way to grade 7. Went to St. Thomas More High School for high school, went to PDP, and then after that I taught at Holy Cross, and I heard the principalship at IC Delta was open, so I had to apply and then come home after all those years. So my job is to be the #1 helper in the community, in the school. So my job is to help the students when they're having difficulty, could be first aid, could be suddenly a little argument, helping the teachers make sure they have what they need and support them in doing what they're doing, to help the parents when they're trying to navigate situations about getting into the school and that kind of thing, and work with the pastor very closely to make sure the school and the parish are working well together, and we are working going forward as a community. So I love my job. No 2 days are ever the same, as you can imagine. I believe in what we're doing as a school and our mission, and it's a wonderful opportunity to be part of raising our kids in the faith and building a community that children can enjoy and the parents can have confidence in, and working with them. I asked the question, what brings you joy? It's seeing the kindergartens in the morning. It's walking the grade 2 class and seeing the smiles and seeing how excited they are about the work that they're doing. So that feeds me every day. So I don't need a lot of motivation to get up and get here in the morning, because it's such a wonderful opportunity to work. And the staff is phenomenal. And so they're good people, and it's wonderful to work for such an amazing team. And I'd love to see, over the next several years, the school be rebuilt. Building's getting older, to see it being rebuilt in a new campus, and have the children that are in the school now be able to bring their children back here. We have a lot of students, a lot of parents that have brought their kids back to have their children have the same experience they did. And I would love for the opportunity for our present students to do the same for their children in the years to come. My name is Maurice Jacob. I'm principal of Immaculate Conception School, and this is my IC Delta story.
So I joined IC 3 years ago as a full-time teacher, and I've been loving it ever since. This is truly my second home. I've been in these hallways more than my own house. IC has always been my home parish. I attended the school as a child growing up and still have so many fond memories of my own teachers. It's cool how I came full circle with learning from my teachers in the past and then now being in their position and teaching. And I knew instantly this is what I want to be. I want to be making a difference in people's lives. I want to be having fun and seeing people smile. And now I teach grade 6, and I love this grade. I can be myself around the kids. I find that I'm truly one of them. I love saying jokes and making an embarrassment of myself, whether that's me rapping or dancing in front of the class or doing something that they find cringy. Anything that I can do to make them smile and make them want to come back to the classroom is something that really makes me happy. The most rewarding part of my career is knowing that I can make a difference in people's lives. It's really interesting finding out the stories of all of the kids I teach, and I make it a goal every morning when they walk in. I want to make sure they're smiling, because that one smile can really change the rest of their day. It can really change how they feel and act when they get home. So it's motivating to me knowing that I can make people smile. That's something that was harder for me growing up, is I found it very difficult to make friends. I found it very difficult to socialize and communicate. And so the fact that I can be that positive influence for others and, help my students navigate the challenges that they're facing growing up is something that is really rewarding. It's something that helps me wake up every morning knowing that these kids are relying on me and these kids are looking forward to coming to see me. It makes me feel special knowing that I can do that for people. I want to be known as that teacher who was very funny, someone that always made them laugh and smile. Those are the teachers that I remember growing up, the teachers that took me out of my comfort zone, the teachers that made me take risks and allowed me to be creative. I want to be known and remembered as someone who was very open and they felt comfortable approaching, because I know that's so important when it comes to kids learning is, can I approach someone who I trust? And I want to be that person who they can trust and always go to. My name is Brandon D'Souza, and this is my IC Delta story.